The death of Domitian, Suetonius reports. Domitian used to say that no one believes the king who has uncovered a conspiracy. They only believe him when the conspiracy succeeds and the ruler lies dead. For 8 successive months, so many lightning strikes were reported that Domitian eventually cried out, "Let Jupiter strike whoever he wants." After this, the temple of Jupiter on the Capitol was hit by lightning. A lightning bolt struck the shrine of the Flavian family, the imperial palace was hit, and even the bedchamber of the emperor. During a violent storm, the inscription plaque was torn from the pedestal of his triumphal statue and landed next to a nearby tomb. Furthermore, Domitian dreamed that the goddess Minerva, who he worshipped with superstitious veneration, came to him with a message. She emerged from her shrine to warn him that she could no longer give him her protection, since she had been disarmed by Jupiter. The following day, he was hurrying to the bathhouse when his chamberlain, Parthenius, interrupted him. He said that someone had called about a matter of great importance, and that it could not be postponed. So Domitian dismissed all his attendants and went to his bedroom, where the killing occurred. Few details are known about the conspiracy and the manner of his death. It is said the conspirators debated whether to kill Domitian at the bath or at dinner. A man named Stephanos, who was a steward for Domitilia, had been accused of embezzlement. Stephanos therefore offered his aid and advice to the conspirators. Several days before the killing, he had wrapped bandages around his left arm, pretending that he had an injury. So it was that he was able to conceal a dagger within the wrappings and sling without attracting suspicion. Pretending to have details of a conspiracy, Stephanos was given an audience with Domitian. The assassin handed Domitian documents, and as the emperor was reading them, Stephanos drew his knife and stabbed him in the groin. For a moment, Domitian stood there in a state of stunned amazement. The murder was witnessed by a youth who was attending to the Lars, figures of household gods, in the bedchamber. The boy later provided an account of the killing. He said that straight after Domitian received the first stab wound, he yelled for the youth to give him the dagger hidden under his pillow and summon the other servants. But the boy could not find the weapon, and all the external doors had been locked. Meanwhile, the emperor grappled with Stephanos and shoved him to the ground. They struggled for a long time, Domitian trying to wrest the dagger from the hands of his assailant, then gorge out his eyes with his lacerated fingers. They say Domitian was eventually killed with 7 severe wounds. The mass of people were indifferent when they heard about his death, but the soldiers were greatly grieved and called in unison for him to be called the deified Domitian. They would have followed anyone who would have directed their discontent, and they insisted that the killers were brought to justice. In contrast, the senators were delighted and crowded into the Senate to denounce the dead Domitian with bitter and insulting orations. Sending for ladders and tools, they tore down his votive shields, then toppled and smashed his statues upon the ground. They decreed that all inscriptions referring to him must also be defaced and all records of his reign obliterated. It is said that a few moments before the murder occurred, a raven perched on the Capitol buildings and croaked out in Greek the words, "Salvation! All's well." Domitian was slain on the 14th day before the calends of October. He was 45 years old, and it was the 15th year of his reign. Suetonius, Life of Domitian, passages 15 to 23.